Lunchtime pipe smoke. Smoking a Tom Howard pipe. I don't know the full story on these pipes. I'll put a little information at the end of the video. There was an article in Popular Mechanics in 1947 about Tom Howard, and it really went into quite a bit of detail. But my question is, that showed him carving pipes, spending 3 hours each on a pipe. Well, the Tom Howards I've seen out in the world, there's too many of them for that, for one thing. So I think he licensed his good name. He was a vaudeville comedian, and then he was a radio guy, and he had a radio show called It Pays to Be Ignorant in the late 40s and early 50s, like through 51. It was kind of a fill-in show, apparently, but quite popular, and he sounded like quite a character. So I'll include a little of that at the end of the video. But I'm smoking this Tom Howard. I have a few of them. I'm not a big Tom Howard collector. Honestly, there's just something about them. I like it. It's very much like a Tracy Mincer, a bit of a feel. Big, thick-walled, saddle bit, thick shank. Gotta love those. So let's see if I can zoom in. Probably not. It says it's stamped Tom Howard, and then on the other side is imported briar. So I think he commissioned these and just lent his name. There's too many of them. It's just they just have that feel that maybe they were made by Weber or another big domestic, meaning U.S. Pipe manufacturing operation at the time. It just feels that way to me. So I haven't come up with anything definitive. Smoking some Blue Mountain. This came to me from Couch, who doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he is a presence in the YouTube pipe community. So thank you, Rick. Really appreciate it. And even more so, why it's a Tom Howard that I'm smoking. He sent a pipe. He sent a Tom Howard billiard, unsmoked. Pretty amazing, huh? Wow, look at that. So he sent it to Doug Owen at Cargo Hold in Paulsbo. So Doug texted me and he said, I've got something here for you. And so we opened, he had a couple of tins that Rick had sent him as well. So Doug said, are you going to smoke it? Are you going to smoke it? Well, no. I mean, this is like even if it was made by a Weber, I mean, unsmoked. And it is, of course, pristine. Amazing. Can you see the stamp there? I don't know. I'm not in control of my camera. This is the phone. So, interestingly, this has a different, it's imported briar in script, whereas this one is a serif font of all caps. So, possibly indicating a different time frame, a different location of manufacture. So many unknowns. Really nice of you to think of me, Rick. I appreciate that. So, thank you. So Tom Howard lives on with all of us. Uh, through his pipes. Isn't that interesting? You know? Um, nice legacy. And his radio show. There was apparently a link. I didn't follow it to listen to it. I will and see if it's a good link. And I'll put that up in the, whatever you call it, the written explanation of the video. I'm sure that has a YouTube name, and I don't know what it is. You know, sometimes you're just willfully ignorant of some aspects of the technology you're using, you know. And I'm that way with a lot of the features of YouTube and so forth. I don't want to take the headspace. And it's all fluff features as far as I'm concerned anyway. I mean, this is about as minimal as it gets as far as videoing. So. Yeah, I mean, they're good smoking pipes. Aren't most pipes good smoking? If you clean them out and maybe open up the channel. I think sometimes a wet pipe is because of turbulence inside, and the smoke has a chance to circulate around in there and not flow smoothly up the shank, and so it cools, and then moisture condenses, maybe. Speculation on my part. I don't know. But a billiard like this, it's hard to not be a good smoker. I did have a Weber. It was kind of like a BP Jum. That's probably the worst pipe I've ever smoked. I mean, it was just wet and gurgly for no discernible reason. I couldn't see where airflow could be too deflected in the shank. You know, I don't know. So maybe just the shape of it, your spit just went right in there, and you know how sometimes it'll sizzle when it hits the cherry in there. Yeah, it was like that, but not in a good way. I got rid of that a long time ago. So yeah, thanks, Couch. I'm not going to smoke this. It's like a treasure. I just can't do that. Beautiful day. I tried making this video before and it just didn't work out. But it was hailing at the time. Maybe I'll put that little end clip on. We don't get too much hail here, and so it was it was kind of entertaining for that. Yeah, so how do you leave a legacy? People try. Uh, Interestingly, their legacy is often their art, whatever that art is. If they're an actor, it's evidence in the films that they appeared in and that are enjoyed again and again and again over time. If they write, it can be a novel. It can be usually not daily journalism, because that is more mundane and not author-centric, really. The focus is on the news. Yeah, so probably a novel or something like that. If you're a biologist or a scientist, it may be the papers that you publish and your contributions to the enlargement of science and the furthering of science. Yeah. What else? If you're anybody else, it's just the impact that you have day to day. So I'm thinking I just made some airline reservations. First time since pre-COVID. Um, and it was an okay experience. I did bump into that airline scheme, where if you're not using a VPN, uh, they track through cookies how many times you come to the site, and that means you're interested in a flight, and they will, I've heard, could be wrong, bump up, it's all based on availability and the time before you book and blah, blah, blah. All these variables that are all out of our control. But I did notice that, prices started down here, and then I thought, well, what do I want to do while I'm in Denver? So I just couldn't, I had to kind of figure that out. So I went away, came back, and next day, and it's like, yeah, prices are gone up just a little bit, you know. So a friend of mine said, well, what she does is she goes to the library and does her research there, and then comes home and books the flight. Another friend said she goes to, a amalgamator like Expedia or one of those, and just does everything through there. I have heard that you get a better deal if you deal directly either with the airline or a hotel or something like that. I'm just not in the know anymore. Not like I never was, really, even when I was traveling quite a bit. Those are trade secrets that I just don't think they want you to know. But it's something to be aware of. So I did install a free VPN. Is it doing what it's doing on my laptop? Uh, I don't know. By that time, I kind of had settled on how many days I was going to be there, when I was going to, and I wasn't messing around too much. Um, so I got decent. It's about like pre-COVID pricing. So Denver's a pretty good. Denver, Seattle's a pretty good competitive market. So and I don't carry on bags or anything like that. I mean, I don't check bags. I have a carry-on. I travel light. So um, I hate it when airlines are starting to charge for any overhead bin space. It's just like, really? There's going to be pushback on that, I think. But I don't know. But it's their business. They know it. Kind of crazy. When they first started charging for a bag, if you weren't paying $90 a year for their credit card or whatever, I thought that was scheming demon, but it's all about making money. So whatever. Now I did like if I was going to drive my truck out to Denver, 1,300 miles, at 20 miles per gallon average, at say $4 a gallon average for diesel. Who knows? It penciled out to right about the same. In fact, it was about $30 less each way by flying. So that was interesting. And then you have to figure accommodations or camping along the way. So there are additional costs, including wear and tear on your vehicle. So, there's all these considerations. I don't know. And the time, of course. which is kind of at a premium. But I always try and pack too much in. It's just my way. Um, so in everything I do. And so I was like, oh yeah, I could head down to Silverton and check out the claims. And, it's only a 7 to 8 hour drive each way from Denver. Or I could drive back to Nebraska and see my aunt. But again, a long, and then fly back from Omaha or something. I mean, that's why I couldn't make up my mind originally. I was trying to do too much. So once I narrowed it down, this is how much time I've got. And I can't do the things I used to do. Drive 12 hours in a tiny car, tiny rail car, no problem. But these days, yeah, no way. In fact, my left knee, I kind of dorked it walking through the woods and caught it on hey, get out of here, a branch, and just twisted it, and so it's kind of dorked. You know how that goes. You get older and stuff happens. So you can't be the Superman you used to be, sadly. So that wasp is going to either come to an end. Anyway. So it was interesting planning a trip, which I hadn't done for a while. So. Okay, enough. Got to get back to work. Thanks, Couch. Thank you, thank you. I don't deserve it. But I sure appreciate it. So thank you very much. Great pipe. And that Blue Mountain is A1. Probably one of the best full Englishes. Yeah, really great stuff. Rest in peace, McClellan.